It's me, Vicky Marie. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you are in this crazy world we're living in. So, of course, what I'm going to talk about in this video is, I think I've got to think of a different name because I don't even want to mention this man's name. Honest to God, I am up to here with him and his self-aggrandizement, his ego. Just can't let things go, can he? But you know who I mean. You know who I mean. PF. I think that's what I'll call him, PF. I know what, there are other things that I like to call him, but I won't be saying that in this video. Just let it go. This is what I've got a message for him. Got a message for PF. Stop torturing families. Just stop it. And I'm actually starting to feel a little bit sorry for you, because anyone who has to build themselves up so much, their ego is so important to them that they just cannot let it go. Even though the family have asked for it to be let go, bringing it all up again, going through everything again. You've got a book coming out, I presume. You've got another book coming out. And also telling lies, saying that these are the first time that these images have ever been released. They're not the first time. They were released ages ago. You leaked them. You and your little minions, you all leaked them all over social media. We've all seen them. And before that, you leaked them to your medium friend. We're going to have a look at that video again when Debbie felt sick. We're going to look at a few things just to remind ourselves, how desperate you are for attention. So for that reason, I'm not going to give you a load of attention. And there'll be people out there who still think you're the best thing since sliced bread. And that's fine. Do you know what it's like? It's like denial. You know how we've seen people and their loved ones are killers or murderers, and they just cannot accept, oh, no, there's no way my husband's guilty of that. Oh, no way. Oh, no, such an... That's what it is with you, with these people, with the best will in the world. They want to believe you because they've invested a lot of trust in you, but you don't deserve it. You're just taking the mickey out of everybody. And you know what? I think you're doing it for ego. I don't even think it's for money. It's just for you, for your own image. Once she was categorically not in the river, then she was definitely in the river. You found her after. Then you were sending off your images, weren't you? Supposedly after Christmas, after you got Christmas out the way, you never did that. You were going to the government, you never did that. Now suddenly it's all coming out again because you want the attention again. You think people might have forgotten. Are you going to go to Keir Starmer now with it all? Oh, good luck with that. Do you know, it's ridiculous. You are ridiculous. But more than anything, you want to worry about your own sort of karma, your own soul. You know the truth. I know the truth. And God knows the truth of what you're saying. You can say what you like, but you can't hide from God, and you can't hide from people who can see right through you. So we're going to talk briefly about him. But first of all, now I've put this on subscribers only after 10 minutes. I'm expecting trolls. I'm sure Peter's trolls are out there, his little minions that get on there whenever I do anything about Peter or Nicolas or whatever. All the trolls are out there. They're all to do with him. Do you think I'm stupid and I don't realize that? You've got your little minions all over the place, your little band of followers. And they are a little band of followers, actually. That's why you've had to go over to America to do your podcast. You've obviously still got contacts at the Daily Mail from before. You just, everything you say, honest to God, you are ridiculous. And, I actually do feel sorry for you, because if you need to inflate your ego so much that you won't leave something like this, it's years ago, And you're still going on about it, banging on about it, because it's about you. It's not about Nicola. It's not about her family. It's all about you and your next book, likely, because that's a way of aggrandizement of you as well. It's all about that, isn't it? So yeah, I'm on subscribers only mode. I can't even believe that I've got to mention his name or, you know, have anything to do with it. I know there'll be people appearing in the, I'm going to say hello to who's in the chat now, but after that, I probably won't be saying hello to people because I want to concentrate on what I'm saying. Hi, Admit. Yeah, there's a gang out there, isn't there, of absolute horrible people. Hi, David. Hi, Bluebell. Hi, Lily. Listen, I hope you're all well. Hi, Beth. Hi, Country. Hi, Angel. Hope I don't miss anybody. But anyway. So, first thing I want to talk about before I even get around to talking about Mr. Ego himself, I want to talk about a proper dive hero. I want to call your attention to someone who's been a guest on this channel, Phil from Beneath the Surface. Now, if you watch my channel regularly, you'll have seen him. He's come on here. He's talked to us about water safety along with Rebecca Ramsey. And Phil is, you know, he has his normal job. I'm not sure what his normal job is, actually. And then at weekends, he goes off on recovery missions, dogs, people, and he doesn't charge. His team don't charge. It's completely free. He will help anyone out. And if you've seen, you know, if you haven't actually seen the interviews, I think has he been on twice? Rebecca's been on twice. He's been on once, maybe more. But anyway, hopefully sometime in the autumn now we can get him back in again. Just such an interesting guy. You know, he started off looking, you know, he was interested in shipwrecks and things like that. That's what he started looking for with diving. And then somebody asked him to find a dog that unfortunately was probably fallen into the river, and the owner, because even with your dogs, you want closure, don't you? You know, it's horrible to think that you don't know where they are, etc. So he started doing that, and then he got involved in body recovery. But you know what? He's not all over the papers talking about it. He's not bigging up his ego. He doesn't get involved in just the high profile cases like a certain someone who's not interested in the low profile cases, only the cases that can bring him some attention. Dive bombing in with his helicopter, saying that someone's categorically not in the water, and making people feel that maybe a partner had something to do with it, including me. Nearly every video I did about the Nicola Bulley case, I thought Peter was, you know, 100% somebody that you could rely on. Anyway, of course, she was in the river. She was found in the river a few weeks later. Then, because he wasn't invited to the inquest, because the police had seen through him, and don't forget the police have been seeing through him for quite a long time, then he decided he did in fact found her, brought out this sonar image that just looks like a tree root or whatever, enhanced it. It's probably been enhanced by now, didn't he? Did a lot of, you know, I just don't trust anything he said. So why is he bringing this up now, all these years later? Why? Because he'll have a book coming out. Mark my words, something will be coming out. Anyway, so I just wanted to show you this because, like, the true heroes are the ones, of course, that don't, you know, aren't out there telling everybody how brilliant they are. Like, you know, Peter thinks he's brilliant. So what I would ask you to do, go on to Facebook. Something free you can do is go on to Facebook, look up Beneath the Surface. Also, it's got YouTube. They've got a YouTube channel. They've got a Twitter account, I think. I'm not sure about the Twitter account. And because it's Phil's birthday coming up, they've put up, they don't ask for money, but they've put up a Just Giving. Let's have a look at what it says. A message from team member Phil. One thing social media is good for is reminding people of birthdays, something that helps me greatly. And many of you may be aware that mine is upcoming. While, like many other people, there are always things I could ask for. What I want most is to upgrade our sonar system at beneath the surface to be able to better help others in need. The last 2 years, my birthday has fallen on a weekend, and one we spent on a missing person search in Aberdeen and the other on a missing person search in Wales. Now, the other thing is they never mention the actual families because they have respect for the families. You know, so like even if he had searched for Nicolas Bully, you wouldn't hear it from him, because he's discreet. He's not looking for kudos. He does it to help people. He's not doing it for his own ego. All about, you know, not like PF. It's just like, oh yeah, look how brilliant I am. I'm an expert in everything. So if anybody thought they may buy me a birthday drink if they saw me, please consider donating that to our Sonar Fund instead. You'll be helping me to help the people I and the rest of our team give our time to help in some of the worst imaginable times, whether missing a loved one or a dog. So they've set up this Just Giving page. And as I say, they rarely ask for money or anything. So they've made a little bit, £460. I would just ask people if you can, times are hard, if you can, just a little bit. If everybody gave a little bit, of course, it would add up to a lot, wouldn't it? So also, again, if you can't help in a financial way, you can follow them on Facebook or X. So they have got their X thing there. I don't know if I follow him on X, but I'll have a look in a minute. So that's the first thing that I just wanted to talk about. Oh, sorry, I didn't share the tab. You know, I don't like sharing. Yeah, beneath the surface. Because I'll tell you what, I mean, hopefully it'll never happen. But if your loved one was missing, or you were missing, of course. Oh, hang on, have I pressed that off? The person certainly the person I would want to help would be Phil. So don't, please, like somebody was saying earlier in comments, don't send don't send Peter Faulding out to look for me, please. No, because it'd be someone like Peter, like Phil, that would be much better to, if you needed somebody to look for, if you'd lost your dog or what, and they go out free of charge, completely free of charge. He gives up his weekends and goes out there. Now, I don't think I was sharing that Facebook page, so I'm going to share it again. Yeah. Support someone who doesn't do it for his ego, but does it to genuinely help people. And we've looked at some of the videos, haven't we, on his YouTube page, where he's gone down and shown us what can be at the bottom of like reservoirs and slate quarries and things like that. So these are the people to support, or the people I'll be supporting, not somebody like PF. I don't know why people support him, because he's never come through with anything that he said he was going to do. What is the reason for supporting him? What has he done? What has he followed through with? Nada, zilch. He just stirred it all up, didn't he? Stirred it all up, made everything look bad, upset the family. The family don't even speak to him. So come on. So-called experts, they called him. Yeah, he isn't an expert in anything. He's an expert in ego. So, and as I say, if you're watching this, Peter, or any of your little minions, just stop. Have a thought for other people. Just stop. Move on. How are you still talking about this? How are you still trying to prove that you're right and everybody else is wrong? For God's sake, just let it go. Grow up. God's sake. Awful. It's awful what you're doing. Really, really awful. Thought it died down and now you're bringing it all up again. It's terrible. Anyway, so he's appeared. So I just wanted to say that about beneath the surface. Please try and support them if you can, even if it's a little amount. If everybody gave a little amount, you don't have to give a fortune. You know, if everybody gave a couple of quid or even a quid, it's, you know, it builds up then, doesn't it? And he's, believe me, if you need somebody to help you, he'd be the best, because unless you're a high profile case, Peter Faulding won't be coming out to help you, that's for sure. Not unless he can get on the telly or something. Okay, so I just wanted to tell you about that. I think now, before we carry on, I think we'll have a little look just to remind ourselves of the time when all this happened and the charade. So Peter is now selling himself on these podcasts and to the Daily Mail. Never before seen footage, the sonar images. We've all seen the sonar images. So there's a lie straight away. And believe me, when someone tells lies about one thing, they're likely to be telling lies about a lot of things, aren't they? So he's telling them, oh, never seen before sonar images. We've all seen them. And remember, the first person to see them was the Break the Ice YouTube channel. And Debbie, the psychic, the mate of Peter's. I mean, just so we haven't forgotten about that, I think we need to have a look at that again. Because people forget, you know, this is what Peter's probably hoping. People have forgotten, you know, that actually... I didn't come through with all these things, and I shared these images with loads of people before, you know, I even, right, hang on, I've got to find it now. Yeah, shared these images, he shared them with police friends, he shared them with a load of people, he sent them to YouTubers, you know, because he wanted them out there. He did. And then he said, oh, you know, because initially it said, out of respect to the family, I'm not going to show these. Didn't he? That's what he initially said. But of course, he ended up showing them to anybody who showed any interest in seeing them, didn't he, really? You know, he's such a liar. I'm sorry, but he is. And now he's showing himself even more, because he's telling these people, these podcasts and the Daily Mail, that he's never shown these before. But it has. Of course it has. We know it has. Right, let's have a look.
I feel sick.
You feel sick?
I've just been sat staring at that picture and I feel sick.
Heartbreaking.
Ow. Why do they make ceilings so low in cars, honestly? Hi, everybody. If you're watching me on Catch Up, I've got something to tell you all. I've got something really important to tell you all. Hang on 1 second. Wait a minute. Pin. Have I just pinned that comment?
Yeah, because she was crying a minute ago. God, how false.
I feel sick at what I've just seen.
I feel sick.
Oh no, it's pinned.
I feel so sick.
Right, I've pinned a comment, and I've pinned it for a reason. I feel sick.
I feel sick.
I'm just waiting.
Yeah, she's waiting for more people to come in.
Jump in onto this live. Wow.
Yeah, she just wants to make sure everybody
I wasn't expecting to have just seen what I've just seen. You don't need to click on that link now. That link is a live stream on YouTube that's happening tonight at 7:30. And it's I feel really sick. I'll explain to you why,
just
and
I'll
try to explain.
Oh, just have a look at my nails. Have a look at my nails.
Sorry.
Oh.
I'm sat here with gold nails as well because I'm at a party tomorrow and I'm wearing a gold dress. Sorry, I'm sat here bloody crying on a live stream.
Oh.
Right, I have to say it quickly because otherwise
you'll feel sick. She took this video down, of course. But luckily I've been
speaking to Peter Faulding.
You got Tingy tonight,
my friend.
Wow. You got boxing, yeah?
And he said, I want your opinion on something. Because, you know, this whole inquiry that happened recently where the police were basically investigating themselves for the conduct over Nicola Bully. God rest her soul. Well,
God rest her soul. Except her soul can't rest. Can it? Peter won't let it.
Had kept it to himself how he found her on, and he could clearly see her on the sonar footage, and he kept it to himself until this inquiry came out, where they yet again tried to blame him, and said that he didn't find her. Peter asked me for my opinion, not literally 20 minutes ago. I feel sick.
Oh, you feel sick. You feel sick. So, of course, that's what you would do, wouldn't you? You know, if you wanted to confirm that a sonar image was a body, you'd ask a psychic medium, wouldn't you? Of course you would. That's the first thing you would do, isn't it? So that she could come on and say how sick she feels.
And he said, if I send you a picture of the sonar footage from that day, Debbie, will you give me your honest opinion? Because I don't know. I haven't got a clue about sonar footage. I've no idea about sonar footage at all.
She's got no idea about sonar footage, so he thought he'd send it to her. You know what I mean? You couldn't make it up, could you? Come on. So all you people out there that still keep hanging on to the fact that Peter is not, making most of it up, just think of the reality of it. I mean, I know I'm wasting my breath because I've seen with denial how strong an emotion it is. And I know I'm probably not, those of you who are convinced he's in the right, everybody else is in the wrong. Even though now after 2 years, but you know, what do you think of that? How horrible to not leave these family be. You know, like he's still got to prove it for his ego. He's got to, why doesn't, even if it was true, just let it go. The thing is, the family have accepted the inquest decision. That they're the ones living with the loss of Nicola, not us, not him. He doesn't care about, he's shown very clearly, he does not care about Nicola as a person. He only cares about, you know, the ego that it can do for him, the how it can get him on the telly or get him in the newspapers. He doesn't care about Nicola.
But he said, I honestly think that the picture is clear enough for even somebody like you, he said, that doesn't know anything about sonar footage.
Bloody crazy.
He sent me the picture of what he found on that day on the sonar footage of Nicola. Having palpitations. You can see her head, shoulders, arms.
No, you can't.
Her bottom, her back.
No, you can't.
Bottom,
where's the clothes?
Legs. Her bent. You can see her knees.
No, you
Even
can't.
her feet. Why? Why did he get told, no, don't put your divers down? And that picture's nothing.
He got told don't put your divers down because he's not police. He couldn't dive down because he was brought there privately. Can't mess about with if that would have turned out to have been Nicola, which it wasn't, because the police dove. You know, are people really saying that the police dove down, saw it was Nicola, and then just decided to lie about it? Honestly, there's something that is just ridiculous. They wanted to find Nicola. If that would have been Nicola, they wouldn't have covered it up and left her there for another couple of weeks. Honestly, I don't understand people that can't see how ridiculous it is.
Why has there been an inquiry and they've said that it was nothing?
Because it was nothing. Because it was nothing.
Very wrong.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
Oh, well.
Something's very wrong. Seeing it with my own eyes.
Yeah. Why did you take this video
down? What is
down?
going on?
What is going on?
What is going on?
It's all the police's fault, obviously.
The police said, no, don't put your divers in the water.
No. They put their divers in the water.
Literally got palpitations. They said, we'll send a diver down.
She feels sick and she's got
but
palpitations.
It's nothing. There's nothing to be seen here. Those were the words. There's nothing to be seen here.
Oh, those were the words.
And she was in the water for 2 more weeks. I feel sick.
Do you know,
I feel sick.
Scott, do you think she feels sick?
I've just been sat staring at that picture and I feel sick.
Oh, God. All right, we know you feel sick. Why did she take this video down?
I really can't stand injustice.
No, I can't.
Come off this live because I think if I don't, I think I need a drink of water or I'll faint. I really can't stand injustice. I really can't.
Oh my God. Listen, I hope this woman isn't. This is supposed to be a psychic medium. Shouldn't she be a little bit tougher than that? So she feels sick 300 times. She said that. She's got palpitations and she's going to faint. Oh my God. Oh my God. And this is supposed to be a psychic medium. She, you know, talks to people who've lost loved ones. Is that what she does? Well, she's in a, oh, sorry, I can't carry on with this sitting because I feel sick. I've got palpitations. Yes, sod you. You're the one who's come here for some comfort from your loved one. Sod you. I've got palpitations. I feel sick and I'm going to faint. You know, you have to think, why did she take this video down? You know, why? If she, you know, if she stands by it.
And I don't care about anybody saying armchair detectives, whatever. I really couldn't give a shit.
Yeah, we couldn't give a shit about you, actually. So she couldn't give a shit. I couldn't give a shit.
Sick.
I don't care. I don't give a shit what you think. You don't give a shit. You don't have to give a shit what I think. But I know what I do think. And to be honest, you proved it by taking your video down. And the thing, David, what you're saying there, Andrew Snowden said when it would be found, because that's what he was told. I'm not trying to stick up for Andrew Snowden, believe me. Just looking at the facts. There's a certain length of time that want bodies that are notoriously difficult to find in rivers, but a certain length of time when they do come up. And I'm not going into details about it, but even Peter went into details, didn't he, about all that. That's when it wasn't that he knew that she would come up at exactly that day. That is just the science of how long it takes for a body to float. That is just the way it is. And he made that comment and he got a lot of things. But, you know, it wasn't just that comment. Don't get me wrong. I think there's something weird about what happened to Nicola or didn't. I don't think we know exactly what happened to her. But one thing that I don't think is that he found her. This is all about him, in my opinion. So, you know, but yeah, I do think there's something strange about Nicola's disappearance. And, you know, was she in the river all that time? I don't know. But don't forget, it was Peter who told us she was definitely not in the river. You know, it was Peter who told us she categorically wasn't in the river. There's a video on my channel where he said it, repeated at least 20 times. Peter said. He never said, oh, well, I did think I'd found her, but the police told me never mentioned it until September. You know, you've got to look at the facts here of what sort of person he is. God.
Peter is going to be live on that link I've just put as a pinned comment with Luke, another one of my friends who's a YouTuber. He's the one who interviewed.
Yeah, they're friends. They'd only just met. So yes, just so you don't forget, while I feel sick and I'm going to faint and I've got palpitations, don't forget to watch the live tonight on Luke's channel. Just get that in. I'm going to pin it. Like there is no genuine emotion in this woman.
Did the interview.
No, it was experts. It was experts who told
sorry,
him
I can't
when she was
even read
likely to come up, and it's a fact. 3 weeks is about right.
I need to get over what I've just seen.
Don't matter now.
Like, and yet Peter Faulding is being vilified and crucified.
Oh, yeah.
When he went free of charge to go and search, and he found her.
They did it for the publicity.
He found her. I've seen that picture. And I feel like I can't really talk about it for much more, to be honest with you. Because honestly, right now, I feel an absolute gibbering wreck. Oh, it's definitely her. 100%.
100% her. No, it wasn't. And I agree, Nick, with what you said. Yeah, he does. A PF, yeah, main character. He's the biggest narcissist. You know, he's just all got. He cannot accept. His ego cannot accept that he was sort of pushed out from the inquest. That the police really, you know, remember what the police said about him. He'd been pissing the police off for a long time. Walking in trying to be the main man and everything. You can't do that. He used to do it years ago because it was a different environment then. Him and Mark Williams Twonk, they used to be in the centre of attention. Mark Williams Twonk, now he's reduced to begging for money on TikTok and Instagram because he says he knows he can catch a serial killer, but he just needs your money. And I haven't even looked at that because I don't want to give him any attention. I won't be on here talking about Peter now. I've tried not to give Peter any attention because I know Peter wants attention. I'm not going to give him lots of attention in this. I'm just going to tell you what he's up to. I'm not going to show the podcast that he's been on. If you think you can sit through it, you sit through it. I'm not sitting through it. I've watched bits of it. I've seen the beginning of it and what they say. It's rubbish. Do you know, the thing is, you wait a couple of years and he thinks he can say what he likes and people have forgotten. People haven't forgotten.
1,000,000%. It is her. You can see her knees, her legs. You can see her lay there.
So yeah, Lily, this not a friend of Paul. This woman is a friend of Peter Faulding. And when Peter Faulding initially came out with this ridiculous story that he'd found Nicola within 10 minutes or whatever, she came on her Facebook making this video, which she's now taken down. She took it down pretty quick, but luckily I'd recorded it. She's a mate of Peter's, psychic medium. He sent these sonar images apparently to her and said, oh, have a look at these. Tell me what you think. You know, Peter, who's so respectful to the family, wasn't going to show them to anyone. And now, this week, he's revealing sonar images that have never been seen before. I've got these sonar images. In fact, I'm going to put them up in a minute. I'm going to put the sonar images up in a minute. I've had them for years. I've had them for 2 years, for God's sake. Everybody's seen them. He's saying that they're newly released. Don't people see? Liars. Do you know, like, that's what I can't be doing with his lying. He's on there in the Daily Mail and this other podcast saying these new, never seen before images. Terrible.
The police apparently tried to say it was a log. It's not a log with
It's
a
not
head,
a log, it's a
shoulders,
root.
arms, body, bottom.
It's a tree root.
I can't talk about it any longer, honestly. I've pinned the link to the live stream that Luke is doing with Peter tonight at 7:30. Peter is answering people's questions on that live stream. Okay, I have to go. I really, honestly, I'm shocked beyond all belief. I'm just shocked.
You feel a bit sick, don't you?
Sorry.
Right. So that's that. Now, just really, while we let me get that out there. Let's have a look at these sonar pictures. Actually, no, because they're in the newspaper article. So don't forget, that was 2 years ago. She was on there. Oh, and here he is. Bloody super sonar. God, he just loves it, doesn't he? He loves it. Why I believe police failed Nicola Bully's family. Well, it's you they're not speaking to, not the police. In fact, yeah, the family were talking to the police even after the inquest and everything. They've got good relations with the police. It's you, Peter, that they're not speaking to. So why is that, I wonder? God, and you know what? He's got the police, the police can't come out and say that, the police won't get involved in all this. Oh, anyway. The expert brought in by Nicola Bully's partner today claimed he can categorically prove. I mean, am I, in a parallel universe? Do you remember how he said she was categorically, kept repeating that word, corally or whatever. She's not in the river. Now he can categorically say he found her within 6 minutes. That's his favourite word. Today, for the first time, Peter Faulding has released exclusive sonar footage of the moment he believes he discovered the missing mother of two in the River Wyre on February the 7th, 2023. Nearly 3 years ago. Come on. An independent expert. Yeah, someone from the podcast and what have you. It's not an independent expert. Has viewed the video and he believes Peter was right. Strange that, isn't it? When he was convinced he had located a human body just 360 seconds into his search. So why has it took Peter 3 years nearly to find an independent expert who's not independent? It hasn't, this is more double speak. This is more word salad. Oh, it's been independently verified. No, it hasn't. He's tried. Nobody would verify it for nearly 3 years. Now he's found someone who will, for whatever reason. It would be to do with his book or some, clicks or whatever. It's not true. So today, for the first time, that's a lie. He has released exclusive sonar footage of the moment he believes he discovered the missing mother of two. An independent expert has viewed the video and says he was right. Oh, the Daily Mail has decided not to publish the footage in full. out of respect for Nicolas' family. Oh, come on, they keep talking about respect for Nicolas' family. Police have declined to comment on the evidence. Well, they can't just keep saying the same thing over and over again, can they? How many times do they have to say? He said he'd seen something, they dove down, there was nothing there. How often do they have to say that? And they stand by their claims that the target area in the water was properly searched and it was either nothing or a tree branch. But an independent expert, he won't be independent, has confirmed that having viewed the never-before-seen footage, he believes Mr. Faulding did find a body in the river. Sorry, I'm laughing. I'm not laughing because it's funny. I'm laughing because it's so ridiculous. Can't even believe I'm talking about this again. Crucially, it measures 5 foot 3 inches or 161 centimetres, approximately the same height as Nicolas. And Neil McDonough, one of the UK's leading sonar operators for search and rescue purposes, was shown the sonar data on a new episode of the Geographic Profiler podcast released today. When asked if it could be a branch or simply nothing at all, he declares that certainly appears to be a human. No, it doesn't. It doesn't. Oh, God. He sounds like her, the bloody psychic medium. I see limbs. Am I seeing a human form? I'm seeing what looks like buttocks. Where's her clothes? Where's her boots? Yeah, he honestly, when I look closely, I see legs in almost a semi-crouched position. It would certainly appear to be human form. There is a prolonged large shadow, which is an unusual shape. It's not what you would see with natural features, such as tree branches or vegetation. So suddenly he's looking at it nearly 3 years later and he's seeing what no other experts can see because the police took it to experts as well. You know, it's ridiculous. Yeah, where's the big coat? Where's the big coat that she was wearing? Where's her boots? Where's her hair? You know, where they're supposed to, all right. They're supposed to, you know, these images are supposed to be so clear that, but you can't see her coat, her boots, any of her clothes. You can't see her hair, can't see anything. So I don't know if I've got these sonar pictures from 2 years ago somewhere. I'm going to have a look in a minute, see if I can find them. So the trolls are out. They even wait 10 minutes. They'll even wait 10 minutes, subscribe and wait 10 minutes. You might as well click off the subscribe because any trolls are just going straight away. Peter Faulding fanboys and girls, don't even bother. Go onto a channel that thinks Peter Faulding's the best thing since sliced bread. You know you're not going to find that here. You think you're going to say nasty things about me. You're just not going to. So, get a life, for God's sake. Get a life. So, let's see what else I've got to say. I love my trolley dollies. I do love them. They just, they still watch after all these years that they hate me so much, but they still like watching. So, very sad. So, the trolley dollies, just like Peter, I feel sorry for because I'm really starting to feel sorry for Peter now because I think that anyone who needs to express their ego, so their ego is so important. They really are, putting their soul in peril. So let's go down. So remember the College of Policing report, that's on my channel somewhere, published a 140-page independent review into the case. They stand by their report. The police diver searched the area Mr. Faulding flagged. So, what do you think police divers would lie about that when they were desperate to find Nicolas? And they also reiterated that they then got an expert view from an unnamed leading government sonar specialist who told them that they had low confidence that the images were of a human casualty. So he's also shared new information, Mr. Faulding, Mr. Faulding, of the wires slow moving in shallow water during the search, which he and other experts believe calls into question claims that Miss Bully could have been swept away. It's so pointless. Sorry. I mean, there it is in the Daily Mail. You can find that, and look at it. It's got all the details on it if you want to read it. If you believe him, you believe him. I don't believe him. I feel like I'm just giving him attention. I'm just giving him attention. And a while ago, I decided I wasn't giving him any more attention because I realized that's exactly what he wants. He's like one of those kids with ADHD that any attention, whether negative or positive, they just want attention or, that's what he's like. Doesn't care if it's positive or negative, as long as his face is there, as long as he's being talked about. That's all he wants because it's all about his ego. And I realized that a little while ago and stopped making any videos about him, but I'm making this. I won't be making any more, put it this way. So of course, he claims that his £55,000 high-frequency sonar device was able to provide a crystal-clear image of the entire riverbed and located her body. Oh, so now he's saying, had Nicolas fallen into river near the bend, she would have landed on a ledge of rocks shallow enough to stand up on. I believe Nicola went in where I found her by the island. So now he's saying, I do not believe her death was simply an accidental drowning, which most of us agree with that. The case deserves further scrutiny. God. He just got to inject himself in everything. He said she'd run off with someone and she definitely wasn't in the river, didn't she? Didn't he? He made all those little smirky comments and things. He was off trying to dig up what he thought were different places where a body might be. He was talking about deposition sites. So Lancashire Police has declined to comment today, as did Nicolas' family. Well, good. Because don't you think Nicolas' family would be saying, hi, Joanne, don't you think that Nicolas' family would be saying, yeah, let's investigate into this more? Anyway, there you go. I think I'm just like talking to myself sometimes. Not with all of you. I know most of you that agree with me, but I know that there's some that don't, that just can't believe that Peter's not a saint. But, I'm not here to try and persuade people. I'm just here to say what I think and to remind people of what actually happened. So he likes to, he casts aspersions on the police now because the police don't want to know him. Years ago, he was like the one that was called in, wasn't he, for all these things, until he started throwing his sort of ego around then. And as the police forces were changing and the police was changing, he sort of got annoyed with it, like Mark Williams Twonk. A lot of these, he's supposed to have been in the police. There's a lot of that. You get people, when they come out of the police, they start slagging off the police. I don't get that. You wouldn't have liked it when you were in the police. But anyway. Now, this Douglas McGregor, the forensic expert he doesn't work with the police and the FBI in the US. Oh, anyway, I can't go there. I'm not here just to discredit people. He seems like a nice enough guy, But you know what? This is not true. He's just an American version of Peter Faulding. Anyway, so the actual, where's the actual podcast? I'm not going to show the podcast. I don't want to give it that much attention. But again, I just want to read out to you that this is what it says. Douglas McGregor and in this special STS collab with the Geoprofiler host and best guest Douglas McGregor investigates the disappearance of Nicolas Bully and the controversial search operation that follows. He reveals one of the most shocking facts. The key areas of the river were left unsearched for days. Now, I know for a fact that is not true. That river, that first day it was searched, there was the fire department, there was the Coast Guard. Someone in my family knows one of the people that were out there searching, the mountain rescue people. You name it, everyone was out there. That is a lie, and that is discrediting the police. And this episode also features Peter Faulding's never seen before sonar footage from the River Wire, giving viewers an inside look at what search teams were working with beneath the surface. Douglas examines how investigative tunnel vision contributed to missed opportunities. But Peter was there. Peter was there. He accepted what the police said when they said it wasn't anything. Now, it wasn't till months later, after he'd been discredited in the cop report. Do any of you remember that? The cop report came out, the College of Policing report came out on the very same day he was on Luke's channel saying he found Nicolas Bully, all dressed up, spruced up like the squire, and even Luke was all dressed up, not sat in front of a towel like he normally does. You know, it was a scripted thing. It was planned. He was waiting for the cop report, see what they said about him. And when he realised that in the cop report, you know, they told the truth about him and how irritating he was, and how he actually was a bad influence on the search because he was going outside his remit as if he was like the bloody chief constable or something. When he realised that came out immediately, and that's when that psychic medium did her video. It was all a scripted thing. Anyway, and the other thing is, you've got to think, what is the point now, nearly 3 years later? Nearly 3 years later. It's all about his ego. Hi, Fluffy. It's all about his ego. Exactly, Rini. People slag off the police until they need them. Tell you what, if you needed someone, you're not going to ring Peter Faulding. Do you think Peter Faulding's going to get into his helicopter and come and rescue you? He's not going to come, not for you, not unless you're a high-profile case. It's not going to come for us mere minions. Phil would come from beneath the surface. He's the best one. You know, listen, I know the police aren't perfect. I've criticised them just the same during this whole case. I do feel it was dealt with really badly right from the beginning. And that's what caused the problems as time went on. And you had that tone-deaf bloody crime commissioner, Andrew Snowden, you know, just sharing pictures of what he was having for dinner and the lovely wines he was drinking. He was, you know, I think they've learned from that. I do think I bloody hope so. They seem to have dealt better with subsequent cases. So apparently, you know, the police that were dealing with the Nicolas Bully case, they, you know, other forces have been taking advice on them on how not to deal with these things. You know, we've had a few similar cases, haven't we, where women have gone missing near the river and it's been kept a tighter lid on, or, you know, they did deal with it terribly, but we found out a lot about that from the COP report as well. It was dealt with badly. The police held their hands up and said that they dealt with it badly, but not as far as this is concerned. And, you know, people like Peter Faulding, who, oh, you know, makes himself out to be a royalist and this, that, and the other. He's got bloody Princess Anne coming round to his, you know, his headquarters. And then he was going to go to Rishi Sunak, wasn't he? And James Cleverly, he was going to, you know, after Christmas, after he'd got Christmas out of the way, gone on holiday and, you know, done his thing. Nothing urgent then at the time when it was actually happening. Now suddenly it's the most important thing in the world to tell lies about it. Now he's going to Keir Starmer. Oh my God, that will be interesting. Now don't forget, Keir Starmer was Director of Public Prosecutions. So what's he going to say to him? He's like, you know, this is not a... Listen, if he gets the case opened up again, well, good, but it's not going to happen. He said, gosh, I mean, if you have time, you know, to be honest, I'd lose the will to live if I'd sit through it again. But in Luke's interview with him on Break the Ice, he said that, oh, no, it'd be too expensive to reopen the investigation. He's not trying to get the investigation reopened. He's just trying to re-establish his position as top dog. He, you know, his ego, he was right, the police were wrong. He'd say anything. That's probably why it's gone more over to America to say it as well. But anyway, he's quite often in the Daily Mail. I'm sure he's got some contacts there. You know, and do you know what? He has a right to say what he wants to say, just like I do, just like anyone does. That's what Peter thinks. But I just think he's lying. So sorry, I do. He is lying. And he hasn't got a good track record for it, has it? Yeah, David, pass the cheese board. He was a joke. Andrew Snowden was a joke. He's, of course, an MP now. He'll probably end up being Prime Minister one day. Hopefully, I'll have already shuffled off this mortal coil before that happens. Right, now let me just see, before we finish, can I find these sonar images? What I'm going to have, do you know what, I was thinking, oh, I need to get these sonar images that were released ages ago and put them against the ones that are being released now. But you know what, I can't be bothered. Let other YouTubers do it. You know, people will be covering this case, these sonar, you know, there'll be some channels that will be all for Peter. There'll be other channels that aren't. I just don't even want to look at his face again, to be honest. I didn't want to look at it before. So let me see if I can find them. Definitely got them somewhere. I mean, there's a video out there somewhere with them on, probably, but let's see. Oh, there they are. So they were released on X by an X account called Truth Signal. Oh dear me. You know, at the end of the day, normally when these things are called truth, anything, the truth is the furthest from the truth. Yeah, I've got these. Let's see if I can put them up. Let's take that, stop that. Right. Hang on. It's always difficult to put pictures up. I always forget how to do it. I don't know why. There you go. So this is the image here. Let me just make sure you can see it. Yeah. So this is supposed to be Nicolas. Now, you know, I can see what they're saying about it looking like these could be legs, hands. But look at that size of that bottom. And where is her big coat and her boots? Don't you see that? This image has got no boots on or anything. You know, how can it be a person? If it's a person, it's a nude person with a big ass. You know, that ass is more like my ass than Nicolas Bully's. Is there anyone out there who thinks it is? Anyway, don't matter, to be honest. I don't want to put, people to be, what's the word, put themselves out there, because people will argue. Some people maybe will think it is. Here. Now you can see that does look like knees. Of course it does. But where's the head as well? Anyway, I don't believe for a minute that's Nicola. And the other thing is, if Peter really thought it was her, he would have been more insistent, and he should have said at the time, oh, well, there was a target, but the police told me he didn't mention it till much later on, did he? He just went on every TV program going, every podcast, every YouTube channel except mine, unfortunately. He's welcome to come on mine if he wants to, but he won't want to. But he didn't tell anybody that he'd found a target and he was convinced it was her. He said she was categorically not in the river. 1,000,000 times. Sorry. This reminds me of, like, you know, Columbo or something, you know, when you draw around the image. Maybe I'm just, you know, my feelings are that is not a body, but there you go. What do I know? Just know what I think. That's all I can do, is go on my gut instinct. My gut instinct is that is not a body. Also, other people said that. And now he's found this expert, supposed, you know, independent expert, who just happens to be on the podcast with him. I just don't believe it. So there you go. It's got a look of, you know, you can see. Remember, it made Debbie sick. It made Debbie feel sick, didn't it? Because she was just so convinced. I don't see that is too long to be a hand, an arm, I think, as well. And anyway, that's my opinion, but you'll all have your own opinions. You can have your own opinions, but, you know, we can't. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. Well, some of you will think it is a body, but it's never been proven to be a body. I will never think that's a body. And unfortunately, of course, it's too late now. If Peter would have said at the time, oh, well, I did find a target, but the police dove it and they said it was nothing, then I'd be more inclined to believe him. But I don't believe, and also if he hadn't lied about everything else. You know, he's got a history of telling lies. And remember, when I look back into him, he's lied about Peter Tobin. He's lied about, that he found the knife. He did that. He's lied about a lot of things. This is not an isolated incident. So. Not an isolated incident. So to me, you know what, when a man shows you, or any person, when they show you what they really are, believe them. And that's how I feel. That's how I feel about Peter. He showed me what he really was, all that. Oh God, he caused all that in this sort of the people that cared about Nicola and wanted everybody waiting, you know, bated breath, weren't they? People saying, oh no, he's definitely going to America. He's definitely going to do this. He's definitely going to do that. He didn't do any of it. Now he's finally gone nearly 3 years later. Come on, he's had plenty of time to mess around with his image as well. You know, it's just a load of rubbish, everything he says. Nothing will probably, unless, you know, some other information comes out. You know, and when I say independent, I mean not someone who's appearing on a podcast with him, you know, and just, I've found out a lot after doing YouTube, and what I've realised is there's some of you out there, you've written to me with things, oh, such and such said this, it's not been true. Not everything podcasters say is true. And maybe you agree with me, maybe you don't agree with me, but I think one thing that you all know is I wouldn't say something, make something up, you know. That's why Peter won't be interested in coming on my channel, because he'd get asked tough questions. You know, he don't get asked tough questions on other channels, does he? You know, never gets asked tough questions. You know, when he appeared on that question and answer thing with Luke, it was just the biggest load of, you know, no tough questions whatsoever. And then just watching him getting drunker and drunker and laughing about Nicola, and oh no, you know, oh, they're not going to reopen the case. He's not interested in reopening the case. You mark my words, maybe in the new year, there's a book coming out, another book, and it'll be something like How I Found Nicola Bulley, or, you know, it will certainly be a chapter in it. He's building up to it. Okay, so that's it. I just wanted to tell you about that. You know, if you're interested in knowing more, if you Google for the podcast, I say I'm not showing it, I'm not giving him any publicity. That's what he wants. I wouldn't even be doing this if it wasn't for the fact that, you know, everyone's been interested. I've had loads of emails. Imagine how many emails I've had about this. Loads from people who support Peter and people who don't. You know, but that's the only reason I'm doing it, because I know my chatters will be interested in it. And, you know, for me, Nicola, whatever happened, I do think something happened that we probably don't know about. You've got to put her to rest. Her family are the important ones. You know, I mean, I've had people saying, you know, well, Luke, of course, out there saying she was locked in a shed, and because of subscribers said, well, I got that photo as well, you know, and I decided not to show that at the time, because I'm not going on there. Some bloody anonymous person has sent me a photo that's supposed to be Nicola in a shed. You know, where would they get that photo from? And anyway, they should take it to the police, not to me. I'm not a detective. I'm not a police person. This is Vicky Marie Chats. I chat about cases. We chat about them. We give our opinions. I can't solve a case. I haven't got the access that the police have got. You know, that's just the way it is. I am not a detective. I can try and find things out and, you know, talk about things, and you never know, maybe, you know, things have been solved from podcasters. There's always a possibility that something might come up, but, you know, just making things up is not for me. You know, we've seen it with the Jay Slater case. They're still trying to upload that documentary properly. YouTube didn't like it at all when I tried to put it on. It's been, you know, it may be a case of waiting a little while when it's sort of the furore is died down off it. It might slip through the cracks a bit more. But at the moment, YouTube are just not playing as far as the Jay Slater documentary is concerned. But look at all those people on TikTok and everything saying those horrible things, putting families through it. It's wrong. You know, this family, Nicolas' family, you know, a mom, a dad, a partner, the girls, a sister, they're probably just about, you know, after over 2 years, nearly 3 years, they'll never get over losing Nicola. But maybe they're just starting to feel some sort of normality because everything had died down. Now here you go again, boof, Mr. Faulding bringing it all up again. Everybody talking about it again. I think you have to put yourself in the position of these families. How would you feel? Not only you're coping with grieving, but you've got to cope with all this as well. And you can't say anything, because if you say one thing, you know, social media or mainstream media is going to pick up on it and make a big deal of it. So you're silenced, really. You know, it's horrible what he's doing. Horrible. He doesn't care. As I say, if Peter is watching this, or his minions, which I'm sure they will be, some of them definitely will be. Hi, trolley dollies. Just tell him his soul is in. He needs to leave this family alone. Leave this woman alone. Leave the family alone. Let her rest in peace. You know, people cared about her and what had happened to her. But, you know, needs to be left alone now. Does need to be left. Or if he's going to do some investigating behind the scenes, but notice how he has to bring it. Why wasn't he just sort of investigating behind the scenes, going to the police saying, oh, no, I'm really convinced. If he's, you know, going to Keir Starmer, why does he have to broadcast it? Because he needs the attention for it. That's why I don't want to give it him. So. Thank you, Nick. Yeah, it will. The book will be out for Christmas. You know, just think, how would Peter feel? You know, he's got daughters. How would he feel if that was his daughter? You know, just brandished at these images. Remember, he said he was never, ever going to show him out of respect for the family. In fact, he might have, you know, he's got a habit, of course, of removing things from his social media. But yeah, he had it on, he put a statement out on the SGI thing, didn't he? Specialist group, isn't it? Said he would never show these images out of respect for the family. He doesn't have any respect for the family. Oh, and the other thing I wanted to say as well, let's have a look at this actually. Let's see, I haven't looked at this for ages. So, Specialist Group International, world-renowned provider of 24/7 specialist response. Yeah, whatever. So, Peter Faulding is world leading in everything. He's world leading, world beating. He's a specialist in everything. In confined space rescue, forensic search, protestor removal. Now, let's not forget as well about how it was his team that removed the protesters from Huntingdon Life Sciences. And for any of you who care about animals out there, that was a beagle farm, you know, where the beagles were used for experiments. And the protesters, it was him and his team. He was boasting about it on his on the website until he realized that people don't like that sort of thing, and he removed the Huntingdon Life Sciences bit off there. But of course we've got screenshots of it. And you know, the other day I was on TikTok, and you know how videos just come at you on TikTok, and there was one in one of these beagle places. Oh my God, I think I'm only just recovering from it. It's been about a week. It was horrific what those beagles go through. The other thing is, I don't think Peter cares about animals. He's not an animal lover. Animals are a commodity to Peter. It's not, he's not like an animal lover in the sense he's like I don't know. These are the feelings that I get off him. He was laughing when his mum was kicking a geese on one of the things I saw on his Facebook page. He thought it was hilarious. So I don't think he's a proper animal lover. And you know what? You wouldn't send if you were an animal lover, you wouldn't send your protesters to Huntingdon Life Sciences, where these beagles, oh my God. Well, I couldn't show you this thing on TikTok because it'd traumatize you. But that's, Peter doesn't care. He's like anything for his business. Oh, look, and there you go. He's got his own website as well now, faulding.com. Oh, yeah, it's been there a while, I think. It's just, sorry, he's so full of ego. He is so full of ego. It's horrible. So, yeah, when you go into his protester management now, doesn't say anything about Huntingdon Life Sciences anymore. Forget that. Didn't like that because people don't like the idea of dogs being hurt and tortured. I tell you what, I wish I'd never seen this video. Just treated, just horrible, horrible, horrible. So to me, anyone who doesn't care about animals, really, they're not going to be a very nice person, are they? Nicolas Bully, let's see. Full technical statement of Peter Faulding. Peter Faulding's answers to questions at the COP meeting. College of Police in reply. Now, where was it he said? He made a statement at I'm not going through all those things, but yeah, if you're interested, go on his website and you can look through all those things. I just can't face looking at his face anymore. But yeah, he said at the time he would never, ever release those images out of respect for the family, but obviously he's got over that. Yeah, Heather, you do. You live near there. Your brother's been to where he lives. Yeah. He's a very strange guy. He's not a strange guy. Do you know what? He is what he is. But, I'm not having him sort of coming out. I'm not going to go along with this hero worship of Peter. And I've taken a lot of stick for it. And do you know what? I don't care because I'm looking at the reality of what Peter did, not about Peter thinking, oh yeah, Peter's great, and they still want to keep the denial in their heads, even after everything that he's done. He's like, God, if he was a serial killer, people would still be saying, oh, I can't believe Peter Faulding would do that. Oh no, he seems like such a nice man. Denial is a strong, strong thing. Yeah. Yeah, he loves it. He loves it all too much. Loves it all too much. Sorry, but he does. And he doesn't care about Nicolas' family. He's proven that. Again, he's proven it over and over again that he does not care about Nicolas Bully or her family because the disrespect that he shows. And it probably won't stop now until his next book comes out, will it? But let's see what happens. That's my prediction that very shortly there'll be a book, another book, coming out about how Peter found Nicolas Bully. He's gearing up to it. There'll be more podcasts coming out. You can read him like a book. I can read him like a book. Okay, I've got to go. So thank you for watching. Yeah, and as always, let me know what you think in comments. And if there's any disrespectful comments, they'll just be gone straight away. So don't even bother, fanboys and girls. Well, you can bother if you want, do what you like, whatever floats your boat. If you've got nothing better to do, which you probably haven't, leave horrible comments if you want. I don't mind you leaving comments saying you think he's right or you think it was, as long as you're respectful. That's all. Okay, thank you. I'll see you really soon in the next video. And until then, as always, may your God go with you. Thank you. Ooh, let's see. Let's have a cheerful video to end, eh? I'm gonna put, let's have, what have we not seen for a while? I think we had that recently. Oh, let's put the Spanishy dancey one on. Thank you. Have a great day. Thank
Oh, you Vicky Marie, Isondrid, is so bold. Your YouTube world is the purest gold. With every video, fresh and new, you light my days with joy so true. Oh, Vicky Marie, your voice, your charm, your spark, your flair, keep me glued beyond compare. From laughs to lessons, all you share. No other channel shines so rare. The comments buzz, your fans agree. We're all here for your energy. A